What's up guys, and welcome to my video. This video is all about these things, next generation consoles, or as I guess we should actually be saying now, current generation consoles. Now of course it's all over the internet how much better these next generation consoles are and how much you are missing out on by not having one of these and by playing on old hardware. Because of course it is old hardware, but when should you upgrade to the new hardware? That is the question of today's video. As a bit of background, I myself are primarily a PC gamer. If you want to know more about the PS4, then just click here and it will take you to my full review of the PlayStation 4. But of course that's a review of the hardware. That's not telling you whether you should actually be buying one right now as opposed to buying one maybe when it's a bit cheaper or when there's a bit more stuff out there for it. Now I own a PlayStation 4, as you can see right here, and I've had plenty of hands-on time with an Xbox One, and I'm talking about the games and the consoles, so I'd like to say that I'm quite well equipped to judge what both consoles are all about and whether you're actually missing out on anything. Now I kickstart this by talking about the hardware themselves, and I have to say that actually both bits of kit are very nice indeed. Yes, it's true, the Xbox One is very bulky and it isn't going to win any awards on how it looks, but the functionality is there. The PlayStation 4 does do away with the power brick and the massive console size itself, and it's a lot more sleek. But of course both consoles will be stored somewhere somewhat out of sight anyway, so it's not really an issue either way. Now there are loads of reports that of course the PlayStation 4 is more powerful than the Xbox One. And while to me it does matter, to the majority of gamers it's not going to make that much difference at all. Both consoles are going to look a lot better than the old generation hardware. And in that respect, yes, of course you are missing out on some stuff by not owning it. And of course there are many other features that both consoles have. I'm not just talking about the TV streaming stuff, we've had that for quite a while, but like the Xbox has the more advanced Connect, which may not be of use to most owners, but some owners are going to get a lot out of that Connect using the voice commands and the advanced camera functionality within it. Both next-gen consoles allow for a lot of multitasking, so you can have, say, Skype open on the Xbox One while watching TV or playing a game, but the PlayStation 4 does also have multitasking capability as well. That is of course the features in very brief detail indeed. If you want to know more about the PlayStation 4, as I said, check out one of my links. If you want to know more about the Xbox One, then I'm afraid you're going to have to go somewhere else for a full detailed review. But the point I would make is that realistically there isn't that many extra features that these consoles have over what you've currently got on the old generation hardware. You've still got all the TV streaming stuff. You've got Netflix, of course, and you've got all the other TV streaming services on all the next generation consoles, and of course in the previous generation consoles as well, so you're not missing out on much there. As for gameplay quality, of course they are going to look and feel a lot better on the next generation hardware, but that is to be expected. But at the end of the day, while it might be a bit better on the next generation consoles, you're still going to get probably just as much enjoyment out of a game of FIFA on the PlayStation 3 as you are on the PlayStation 4. So yes, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are going to play your games and they are going to look and feel better on the next generation hardware than of course they do on the older generation hardware. But is it worth the cost? And it's not just the cost of the consoles either, it's the cost of the games. You're looking at about $60 US or about 45–50 pounds for every single new game you play. And that's going to add up. If you say buy a very small amount of games, say you maybe buy 4 or 5 full-priced games every year, that's still going to be a lot more money than you'd currently pay on the older generation hardware. And bearing in mind, let's be honest, after about 15 minutes of gameplay, you kind of forget about how the game looks, and you kind of forget how the game looks, if it of course looks and feels half decent in the first place. Is it going to be worth that extra cost? No, to me it is. To me it is, but a lot of you out there probably don't really care so much. They just want to play good games. And of course it's not just the price of games either, it's actually about how many games there are. On the PlayStation 4 there's not much. Now there's all these lists of all these good games that you can play on the PlayStation 4, but realistically that's still a tiny amount to the amount of games that are available on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 and of course on the PC. So yes, you probably are going to be kept amused with some stuff, but just look at what PlayStation Plus is currently doing and it gives you an idea. They're giving you some good games every month. This month it was Mercenary Kings, but they've all been indie games. And yes, you know, that's fine. You're not entitled to anything. You're buying the subscription, this is what you're getting. And the games themselves are half decent. but that's just a sign of the fact that there aren't that many games. If you look at what's available on the PS3, you're getting all the AAA titles like Bioshock Infinite. There's just not that much stuff to play. You've got pretty much Assassin's Creed, Battlefield 4, Infamous, of course on the Xbox One. You've got stuff like Forza and Dead Rising 3 as well. But there's still not that many games to play, and a lot of you may argue with this, but compare it to what you've got on the PS3, on the Xbox 360 and the PC, and it's not much at all. Having said that, there are a lot more coming this year. You've just got to take a look at any games chart website and you'll see that a lot of the pre-orders are on the next gen consoles and they are coming at the end of the year. Games like Batman, for instance, they're big AAA titles that are coming on this generation of hardware. But a lot of them still aren't that exclusive. You know, Batman, yes, it's next-gen exclusive, but a lot of them aren't actually next-gen exclusive at all. Go and check out your favourite games that you're looking forward to and see whether they're available on next-generation hardware only, and that should give you some sort of an idea of whether you should be getting a next-gen console or not, because if your favourite games are available on the older generation, then maybe you're not missing out on that much at all. So the consoles themselves deliver a better experience, but the games are more expensive and there aren't as many of them. There are additional features, but it's not really so much about the features, it's all about the games. So, that's only really 2 points really, isn't it? It's the fact that the games are more expensive and there aren't that many of them. But this is a games console that you're buying. This isn't, a smart TV box. If you want a smart TV box, guess what? Go and buy a smart TV box. This is primarily about games. So if you're not getting that many games and you're getting them at not necessarily extortionate, but a significantly higher price than you currently are, is it worth doing? Definitely over here in the UK, I am struggling to recommend actually that you go and buy one. I have a PlayStation 4 and it is pretty much a Netflix machine. Of course I do have a gaming PC, so why would I use a PlayStation 4 other than for exclusive games? Games like Infamous are fantastic and that's the sort of experience you are buying into with a next generation console, and I'm sure it's the same for Forza and Dead Rising. But it's a lot of money to go out and get a few games with. It's all about having a system seller, and of course Titanfall is a great game and there are quite a few of great games, but whether you actually need the great games yet is up to you. Xbox One has come down in price significantly. It's almost £100 here in the UK. In the US I imagine it's something similar. So yes, they are going the right way and it probably is almost time for you to buy one, but it's kind of, you need to be buying into the games, not the console themselves. So go and check out what games you want to play, and if they're available on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, maybe you should be sticking with that for the moment. And of course it wouldn't be PC centric without mentioning the obvious, the fact that there is something better than both next-gen consoles, the PC. If you are interested in PC gaming and you realise that it's not stupidly expensive at all, it's actually the cheaper experience and it's the better experience, then check out one of my PC-centric rigs. The one that's probably most appropriate is the next generation rig alternative, which is in the description below. So that pretty much wraps up this video. The lesson really is to buy into games themselves, not into the game machines. If you've thought this video was helpful or interesting, then give it a thumbs up and like the video. If you don't like it and you think, why on earth have I wasted my time watching this? This guy's a joke. Do leave a dislike, it's fine. It is absolutely fine. I might be a bit upset, but I'm sure I'll get over it. Have your say. And if you thought this content was good and you thought some of the other content is good, don't be afraid to subscribe. That's the like up symbol. There's a box, isn't it? Don't forget to click the subscribe button and subscribe to PC Centric for more videos like this and all about gaming, technology and PCs in general. Other than that, the only thing to say is don't hesitate to contact me. It's at PC Centric on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook, or you can just send me a private message through YouTube, whatever you think is easier. Other than that, there's not much to say. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.